man. Got my phone charger. I got the computer charged. Man, we ready to rock and roll. So this we ready to do, y'all. I want to watch. I'm going to watch some of that law and crime coverage of this Diddy situation. And I'm going to show y'all, some of the things that's being said. You know, because it's crazy how law and crime just came in and just swept the whole anything court. They just came straight in and took it right over off the rip, and they get all the traffic. But it is what it is. Even though you would think that, you know, that news is kind of like outdated. You know, that news always gonna stick to the status quo. But if you read between the lines, you can catch some things that's important. So let me show y'all what Diddy post. This is what Diddy posted. Victory. Law and crime. And what he said at the end stuck with me. It stuck with me. Hey! My bad, y'all. This damn Doug, man. Anybody want an Alaska Malamute? Malamute. Let me know in the comments, man. But yeah, y'all. Y'all want to support the channel, Baltimore Swag. It's how you Cash App. I'd rather Cash App than Super Chats, because I'm gonna keep it real, y'all. I don't know where that Super Chat stuff be going at. Straight up. Like I don't know if it get calculated. I don't understand how that works. It's saying like them Super Chats don't getting added into what I supposed to make. Yeah, when did I watch that video? Was that the day or yesterday? I watched the video on Law and Crime yesterday talking about Diddy. Let me see. Yo, did y'all watch this video I did? Y'all need to watch this, y'all. This is a heck of a video right here, y'all. Y'all need to check that out. It's K Shorty, the King Von in Jacksonville. Heck of a video. Let me see. It's my video history right here. SL, what's up, man? SL always support the channel. SL, you not a mod? Hold up, why you ain't no mod? Gotta make you a mod. Yeah, gotta make you a mod. Shit, you support the channel more than anybody. Damn, y'all. So I'll find something interesting in their takes on Diddy. Diddy's son caught on tape sexual assaulting on a yacht. Look, yo, this all it's about is tapes. Let's check this out. This got uploaded 7 minutes ago. But I deleted your message? Oh, I don't know, my phone tripping. Yeah, y'all. So the breaking news is Diddy posted. Stop eating fiber now. Diddy posted online, first post since all the allegations, and he posted victory. And my theory is, I agree with Candace Owens. This thing is about tapes. Diddy got too much white mail on people, and he ain't going to jail. Comfortably and regularly. Diddy ain't going to jail. As long as he comply and give up all them tapes, he ain't got nothing to worry about. You talking about, yo, matter of fact, they were showing the interview with Art of the Dialogue. I think that's who it is. And they had the bodyguard on there, and the bodyguard was talking about the politicians, the princes, and all these people that be at these parties. Then you got to think back to Lil Rod lawsuit when he talked about, yo, the man got cameras in every room. This was about white male. He got too much of it.
Named in a another civil lawsuit, but this time it is his son that is the main defendant. A woman accuses Christian King Combs of sexually assaulting her on a yacht. We are going to break down this latest legal action as Sean Combs remains embroiled in an apparent sex trafficking investigation.
Now they're gonna take a lot of hit on money.
Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. We told you just the other day, right here on Sidebar, that the attorney who filed one of these bombshell lawsuits against Sean Diddy Combs on behalf of his client, a former Diddy producer named Rodney Jones, would likely be filing another suit against Combs' son, Christian, and that has just happened. Yes, in fact, the yacht incident, which we're going to get into, was mentioned in Jones's lawsuit against Diddy, with Jones claiming in the complaint that he had personal knowledge that Christian drugged and sexually assaulted a woman. And a footnote was included that a complaint would be forthcoming. Now, at the time, I was wondering if Jones would be the one suing Christian. After all, he already sued Christian's brother and Diddy's other son, Justin. But I was struggling to figure out what would be his cause of action against Christian. Well, it turns out that Jones is not suing Christian. It is actually the woman who was allegedly assaulted by Christian, and she is being repped by Jones's lawyer.
That's a dirty game, yo.
So first, this development comes
drugging a woman, yo, to have sex with her, yo. That's dirty work, y'all. That is dirty work.
Were raided by Homeland Security investigators. It's part of a sweeping sex trafficking investigation by the Southern District of New York, or at least that's what it's being reported. That's what sources from law enforcement are indicating. Now, Diddy's two sons, Justin and Christian, they were seen in handcuffs outside of that LA home during the raid. They weren't under arrest. They were merely detained while officers were assessing the situation and going into the home. But Diddy, Justin, and Christian, they have all been named in these very big lawsuits. But remember, that is civil. That is the civil arena. None of them have been arrested or charged with any crime related to this apparent criminal investigation. But our analysts here on Sidebar expect that at least one arrest will be coming soon. But now
I don't think so, y'all. I disagree.
Tyrone Blackburn, the man already representing
if somebody get arrested, it ain't gonna be Diddy. One of his sons might take a hit, but I doubt if Diddy go to jail, y'all.
Half of his client, Grace.
Somebody might got fall. I'm gonna say that somebody might do have to take a fall.
I believe it is O'Markey. Grace O'Markey in Los Angeles Superior Court, accusing 26-year-old Christian Combs of drugging her and sexually assaulting her in December of 2022 when she was working in a charter boat in St. Martin. So according to the lawsuit, O'Markey says that she had been working as a steward, providing food and drinks on
saying her name.
for a 12-hour period, and she was 25 years old at the time. She believed that the trip would be a, quote, wholesome family excursion, but says it, quote, turned into a hedonistic environment, even describing rampant drug use among sex workers and celebrities who came on board. She believes that the alcohol on the yacht had been laced with drugs because she says women would have one drink and then almost immediately pass out or start falling over.
Damn.
This is, by the way, something that it was also alleged in Jones's lawsuit.
These niggas
that
dirty.
Combs would spike the drinks of different people. But focusing on Christian Combs, Markey says that Christian Combs had been staying at a villa on the shore, but that he would come onto the yacht in the evening to party. And on December 28, 2022, Christian reportedly arrived very intoxicated and then proceeded to pressure O'Markey to take shots of tequila. She did. Christian allegedly tried to get her to drink more in the yacht's makeshift studio. O'Markey alleges that Christian kissed her neck, kissed her face, as he groped her legs, breasts, and private areas. O'Markey reportedly told Christian, quote, "Excuse me, you don't touch my legs like that. I'll move my legs where I want to. If I want to do this, then I will. You don't touch my legs like that." Markey then says that she told Christian she couldn't stay with him unless it was approved by a supervisor, all of whom she knew would be asleep at the time. So this was a way for her to get out.
That don't sound right. She couldn't stay with him unless she was approved by a supervisor. Like, she is sex working her goddamn self. The fuck?
The situation. She claims that Christian said, "Who can I talk to? I'm going to say I requested you right now." Markey then said she responded with, quote, "Well, you can take your hand off my ass for the first thing." O'Markey says that she tried to go back to her work, but Christian found her again, wanted her to find him a place to sleep for the night. So she ended up taking him to the cinema room for the yacht, which doubled as a place for people to sleep. And she claims that is when Christian blocked her and groped her, took off his clothes, tried to force her to perform oral sex on him. She says that she was able to fight him off until someone came in. Now, the lawsuit goes on to say that O'Markey told the yacht captain what happened the very next day, but he didn't believe her, didn't do any sort of real investigation. She says the captain retaliated against her for months after the alleged assault.
Because that must be status quo.
May of 2023.
I don't know about this lawsuit, y'all. That sounds like whatever company she worked for, that's what they into. For her to go to her supervisor and for him to chastise her, that must be status quo. Like, girl, you know the job. I mean, you know the job. We had these, we host these powerful people, and we give them, and we provide a service. Let me know if I'm tripping, y'all. Do that sound like that to y'all? Or am I tripping?
Now, aside from her account, aside from a potential other witness, right, the person that allegedly walked in on this, what proof is there that this happened? Well, she reportedly has photos of the bruises that she says were caused by this event with Christian Combs. But she also claims that in that studio, during that first interaction at the time, was Rodney Jones, that former Diddy music producer I mentioned, the one who is suing Diddy. He's known as Little Rod Jones. Remember, he had been basically living with Diddy while the two worked on his latest album. As we discussed on previous sidebars, Jones made multiple allegations against Diddy in his own lawsuit, saying that there was rampant drinking, drug use, sexual assault during Diddy's parties. He claims that he was groped by Diddy, that he was the victim of sex trafficking as he was forced to engage in sex acts with sex workers. He even claims that Diddy groomed him for homosexual sex and facilitated for him to be sexually abused by actor Cuba Gooding Jr. He also claims that there are hours of audio and video footage documenting Diddy's alleged crimes and misconduct. And according...
So that's the thing, though, y'all. But if it's hours of video footage, then he should already be arrested. If it's hours of video footage of all these things, the federal government should have that, and he should already... It shouldn't be no investigation. What's there to investigate if it's hours of footage? And I'm sure they got it.
To Miss O'Markey, Jones taped this event with her. Yes. The lawsuit provides transcripts of audio recordings. And these audio recordings purportedly show, or you can hear, kissing sounds, her telling Combs not to touch her, her allegedly asking about whether she was drugged. Now, we haven't heard these tapes here on Law and Crime yet, but if they are what they purport to be, that is a huge piece of evidence.
Let me show you how we do stuff around here. Actually, my department uses Monday.com, so I'm...
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? That shit don't sound right.
Remember, we're talking a civil case, we're talking lawsuits. The burden of proof is much lower than a criminal case. It's just preponderance of the evidence, more likely than not that this happened. So the civil suit accuses Christian of assault, battery, sexual assault, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. They're a big part of this lawsuit. She goes into the mental anguish that she has gone through, the emotional harm that she has suffered as a result of that. It's important in order to prove damages. And by the way, she is claiming unspecified damages, so she hasn't put a number amount on it. But Diddy, let's go back to him. He is also named as a defendant. He is accused of aiding and abetting Christian's behavior, as well as having premises liability because he was the leaseholder of the yacht. Now premises liability...
I think they're just trying to teach them a lesson, y'all.
To keep people on your property safe from...
Get them tapes and teach them a lesson.
We saw a lot of that same kind of theory in the Jones lawsuit when he was talking about this shooting that happened at Chalice Studios, and the owners and occupiers of that studio should just be as responsible as the people who allegedly engaged in that shooting that he was present. Now, by the way, not sure if these new allegations could play a role in a future federal criminal prosecution of Combs. We're talking so much about the investigation into them. It could be that this is just an isolated incident here and could not be part of a sex trafficking charge. Although I do want
Man, that sounds like that's the
if
company
this
she worked
Christian
for.
Combs incident or alleged incident could be part of a potential RICO or racketeering charge. As I mentioned on a previous sidebar, when I laid out potential charges that Diddy could face, if we are talking about conspiracy to violate the RICO statute, RICO organized crime, that's what I'm talking about here, that there was a criminal enterprise. To prove that, you would need to show that there was an agreement to break the law, there was an agreement to have this criminal enterprise, and that there were steps or overt acts that were taken in furtherance of that criminal enterprise. Overt acts
Yeah,
don't
what
have
it
to be
is.
crimes, they could just be events, they could be things that happen. So could this be an example of an overt act? Could this be an overt act to further this enterprise of illegal sex and power? Could be a stretch, yes, just something that came to my mind. Miss O'Markey, her attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, said after this lawsuit was filed, quote, "Like father, like son, it gives us no joy or pleasure in filing this suit against Christian Combs, who has clearly adopted his father's pattern and practice of depravity." So far, there has been no response from Christian or his attorney at the time of this lawsuit. But a little side note about Tyrone Blackburn, the attorney representing Miss O'Markey and Mr. Jones. United States District Court Judge for the Southern District of New York, Denise Cote, had some very harsh words for Mr. Blackburn and has even submitted a referral to the New York Federal Court Grievance Committee, claiming issues with Blackburn in 5 cases. In her order,
She's trying to get him took out the case.
Significant resources have been spent by judges of the court and defendants named in actions he has filed to address glaring deficiencies in his filings. A referral to this court's grievance committee is warranted. Judge Cote goes on to write, quote, "A reasonable inference from Blackburn's pattern of behavior is that he improperly files cases in federal court to garner media attention, embarrass defendants with salacious allegations, and pressure defendants to settle quickly." She goes on to write, "Indeed, his submissions to this court have been rife with disturbing allegations against the defendants and defense counsel." So the big theme here is that he allegedly files lawsuits in the wrong jurisdictions and courts, and even allegedly called a defense attorney, quote, "a disgusting racist." Now, this is being reported by Billboard, and in fact, Blackburn wrote an email to Billboard responding to Judge Cote's order saying, quote, "Not sure how this is at all relevant to Rodney Jones's case or any other case I have. This will not have any impact."
So this is a federal judge basically taking up for Diddy and them, saying that this lawyer filed salacious claims, and it's only to garner media attention. That's major, y'all.
Mr. Jones's case, although Judge Cote's decision was a referral to the SDNY's grievance committee and not a sanction, I plan on appealing the decision. But remember, the Jones lawsuit was filed in the Southern District of New York, a federal court. So it does seem to have some impact, if you ask me. And look, while we don't know the specifics of these allegations, they do come on the heels of other criticism from other lawyers. After Blackburn filed the lawsuit on behalf of Mr. Jones, Combs' attorney, Sean Holley, alleged that Blackburn ignored basically exonerating evidence. The quote was, "Our attempts to share this proof with Mr. Jones' attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, have been ignored, as Mr. Blackburn refuses to return our calls." Holley goes on to say, "We will address these outlandish allegations.
We gotta look into Tyrone Blackburn.
Appropriate action against those who make them." Then the attorneys for Universal Music Group, one of the defendants who are also being sued by Rodney Jones for their alleged participation and facilitation of the abuse and trafficking claimed by Jones, they argued that the claims were so, quote, "offensively false" that one of these attorneys, Donald Zakarin, wrote, "A license to practice law is a privilege. Mr. Blackburn, plaintiff's lawyer, has misused that license to self-promote, gratuitously, falsely, and recklessly accusing the UMG defendants of criminal behavior."
Hold up, y'all. Let's look into Tyrone Blackburn. Cause hold on, let's see what type of guy he is, man. Let's check you out. Tyrone Blackburn. Images. This Tyrone Blackburn right here. Tyrone Blackburn cases. Cases. Over filing. Over court filings. It's him right here. Oh, he trying to get recognition. Attorney under fire for alleged. This damn thug, man. Alleged misconduct. No, that's new. I'm trying to find something older on him. He ain't got no older cases. Judge slam order to grievance. All this stuff is new. Former Morgan Stanley staff take up case against Wall Street firm. So he only take cases that's gonna be in the spotlight. Let's check it out. Blackburn versus Feldman. That's new. March 28th. No, it's 2023. Let's see what this is. Citibank filed Eastern District of New York. Legal service. Povag filing. Yes, on PaySell. Where's this all? Civil action, including jury trial. I don't know what's up with this judge, man. We might gotta go in. So okay, so he filed a suit against T.I. and Tiny too back in the day. That case ended up getting dropped. Oh yeah, so he got a history. A lawyer for a number of women who alleged rapper T.I. and wife Tiny drugged and sexually abused them is calling for investigation of Atlanta couple in Georgia. Attorney Tyrone Blackburn. Okay. So he like the Ben Crump. He like another Ben Crump. No, I can't put him in Ben Crump, but he one of them entertainment lawyers. Try and gain clout off these people. T.I. had such kind as one of Time's best friends. So I just wanted to check him real quick. Let's go back to. I want to find that video I was watching where they talked about that same guy was talking about white male. This must be it right here. This bitch got 1 million views. Jimmy Chris. I got all these clips in one of my videos.
Disability benefits, don't. Hi.
I think this is the one I watched.
I'm a lawyer.
I don't know what goes on after hours, but
He wasn't trying to find
I
out.
wasn't trying to find out.
Well, it wasn't just the photos and videos of the raids in the homes of Sean Diddy Combs that went viral last week. No, as we explore these allegations and potential criminal charges, new and old videos and comments regarding the rapper and producer are taking center stage. We're going to break them down along with some updates in the case. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. It has been quite the week since Homeland Security agents swarmed the residences of Sean Diddy Combs out in Los Angeles and Miami, the rapper, producer, mogul, reported billionaire. It was almost like a military response with heavily armed officers, vehicles rolling into these wealthy neighborhoods. And there have been some interesting reactions and takes and insights in the aftermath. Now, to be clear, here's where we're at. At the time of this recording, all federal authorities have said so far is that the raids were happening in connection with some sort of ongoing investigation, which sources say has to do with trafficking. In fact, the New York Post reported that a Department of Homeland Security officer told them, quote, "We believe that there is a disturbing history of sex trafficking. We're responding to concrete, detailed, explicit allegations. This is not random. We didn't choose his name out of a hat. We had allegations that we're following up on." Okay, so we're going to get into all of that in a bit. But when we talk about human trafficking, which is generally speaking when you exploit somebody for labor or services or commercial sex, more specifically what we're talking about is sex trafficking. So that is recruiting, transporting, soliciting somebody for the purposes of commercial sex, usually through fraud, force, coercion. The person is a minor under 18 years of age. So you think about what kind of evidence they're trying to collect to support those potential charges or related charges. But since the news came out about these raids, there are a lot of videos that are surfacing of the music mogul.
Now, didn't he already say in this same video that he not the subject of the investigation?
Let me talk about this video. There was video and photos that seem to show where Combs is right now, because Combs appears to still be hanging out in the Miami area. A fitness coach said he was visiting a restaurant on Friday when he happened to see Combs and some of his friends in line.
Down here at Pura Vida by my pad, run into the man right here. What's up? Miami's like that. It's a movie.
Combs apparently flashed an L.
So he don't look like no man that's stressing about going to jail, man.
He was reportedly spotted at a Top Golf in Miami with his teenage daughters. Seems to be pretty relaxed for a guy whose empire could potentially be at stake and he could potentially be facing criminal charges. But this is significant.
I think he knows
This
he's
is
good.
very significant because there was speculation at the time of the raids that Combs had fled the country. After all, reports indicated that Combs' private jet had flown to the Caribbean on the day of the raids. Now it has since returned back to Florida, but we didn't know where Combs was. In fact, we did live Q&A shows with our viewers on the Long Crime Network, and that was one of the #1 questions we kept getting asked. Where is Combs? Or how can you get him back if he's in another country? What about extradition? Well, Combs' attorney, Aaron Dyer, he did release a statement criticizing the raids, but also said, quote, I thought this was so interesting, Mr. Combs was never detained but spoke to and cooperated with authorities. That led me to believe that there was a strong chance he never left the country.
You see what I'm saying? Especially with that, right?
Something.
That leaving the country thing, I kind of fell for it too in the beginning, but I should have known that was false, because if they're gonna do some house raids, they've been watching you prior to that whole week. You feel me? So wherever he would have went, they'd have been right behind him, and they wouldn't have allowed him to leave no country. Not before no raids. Not if they was ready to come there and lock him up. No, they do better investigative work than that. Like when them people on you, they watching you. If they hitting your house, they been watching you at least a whole week. They know where you at. They followed you. Your phone tapped. I mean, you ain't ready to get away from him, especially not in no situation like this. But he's so much of a major figure. They got to make sure they got everything, all their ducks is in a row before they ever come down with some charges. But I think this was about tapes. I did.
To keep in mind, though, Combs, who's got by the name
We didn't know, though. If he don't go to jail, it was about tapes, y'all. That's going to be the confirmation.
He has not been arrested, okay? He has not been arrested. He has not been criminally charged in connection with any sort of trafficking investigation. Right now, this just appears to be...
Sick of all the ads like this one? Just head to adskiller.com, click on Activate Now, add AdsKiller to your browser.
An investigation. However, we spoke with Tracy Walter, a former CIA and FBI special agent, who says it is only a matter of time before
Big Bro TV.
So I absolutely believe and again, simply my hypothesis, he is innocent until proven guilty, that he will be arrested and indicted on sex trafficking charges. I have no doubt about that. And I do believe that he was most likely the kingpin of this. These girls, what that tells me, if it's out of the Southern District of New York, is this is
Why should look down like that?
states, and that he is trafficking.
People don't normally look down to the side when he's
across
speaking.
multiple states across the United States. This isn't just an isolated incident.
And that could very well be true. Her opinion has
cool.
been shared with other analysts I've spoken to. So it's not outside the realm of possibility. Because if you think about it, if this is in fact an investigation from the Southern District of New York, those federal prosecutors, they sought search warrants based on probable cause of criminal conduct.
Nah,
so they were able
they serve search warrants based off Lil
Perhaps
Rod
they
saying
were
it's
basing
tapes
this
in
off
that
of
house.
Witness interviews or some other piece of evidence, but these raids were for the purpose of gathering evidence, not to arrest anybody.
No, that's a computer right there.
Gathering evidence. So now that they have, or seem to have,
They want video.
whatever they were looking for,
They want
it will take
USBs.
some time to
That's what they
analyze and
came
process
for.
this evidence. It's also possible that they're issuing subpoenas.
Yo, like how many times you ever seen them come that with that much force and don't lock a person up? Yo, that is strange. That's rare. If they come that deep, you coming with them. They ain't taking with them, y'all. But they took tapes. They took computers. That's all that's what's about, y'all.
Before they possibly go before a grand jury.
Now it's possible he can go to jail, yo, but I don't know, yo. I'm starting to second guess it.
Happen, but it is something to think about. Now, something that might have really ramped up this federal investigation, as I talk about potential witnesses that may be cooperating and providing information to investigators and prosecutors, is all of the details that were released in several lawsuits filed against Combs in the past several months. And there's two in particular I'm going to highlight. These are two bombshell lawsuits against Diddy, one from his ex, Cassandra Ventura, or Cassie, and another from a music producer named Rodney Jones, or Rod Jones. Both of these lawsuits make chilling claims of violence, sexual assault, drug use, trafficking, a lot more. I wonder if details of those cases, even though these are civil cases, if they're being investigated by federal authorities, because what was alleged was essentially criminal conduct, and we don't know if either Ventura or Little Rod Jones are in fact witnesses working with the government. But in her lawsuit, Cassie claims that she felt trapped in the relationship with Combs, who was verbally and physically abusive. She claims he forced her to have sex with prostitutes while he watched, sometimes filmed them. And she says that when she tried to leave him, Combs raped her. In the Rodney Jones lawsuit, the producer claims that he was assaulted, harassed, threatened by Combs. He points to rampant drug use involving Combs' alleged drug mule, Brendan Paul, who was actually arrested on drug charges on the same day as the raids at an airport in Miami. Jones also claims that underage girls were present at Combs' parties where they may have been intimate with Combs. And Jones even accuses actor Cuba Gooding Jr. of sexually assaulting him on a yacht. Says Combs helped set the whole situation up. In an amended complaint, Cuba Gooding Jr. was actually added as a defendant in this case. But these are not the only high-profile people to call Combs out. No, as we mentioned on previous sidebars, Combs' longtime rival, rapper 50 Cent, has been quite active on social media about what's been going on. After the raids, he posted on Instagram, quote, "Now it's not Diddy do it," in a reference to a planned docu-series that he was going to produce. But he says, now it's not Diddy do it, it's Diddy done. They don't come like that unless they got a case. Since then, he's posted several memes mocking Diddy's legal troubles. He's also shared a video from someone on social media that called Combs, quote, "too freaky for society." Aubrey O'Day from the musical group Danity Kane, founded by Combs back in the early 2000s, she posted on Instagram after the raids, "What you sow, you shall reap. I pray this emboldens all of us victims to finally speak on what we've endured." She once said in a podcast back in 2022 that she was fired by Combs from the group because she, quote, "wasn't willing to do what was expected of her, not talent-wise, but in other areas." But in light of all of these statements and all of these developments, there are several celebrities who have made statements about Combs' alleged bad behavior that we got to talk about. Cat Williams, the comedian, he spoke with NFL Hall of Famer Shannon Sharp back in January on Sharp's podcast Club Shay Shay. So timeline-wise, this is after some of the lawsuits come out, before, obviously, the raids this past week. Let's hear what he had to say.
Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did.
You can see from Shannon Sharp's reaction there that is an explosive thing that Williams just said.
If you're 21 years old and use nicotine or tobacco, I'm here to tell you about Black Buffalo. Now, I've always noticed how dipping and the outdoor lifestyle go together. My buddy Ronnie explained it to me years ago when he said, dippers are people that work with their hands, they don't smoke. And Black Buffalo is the only tobacco alternative with nicotine that dips like the real thing. They come from humble beginnings and they make products the guys in our crew genuinely like to use. So if you're over 21, consume nicotine or tobacco, and want to join the Black Buffalo herd, head over to blackbuffalo.com to learn more. You can buy products online. They ship directly to you in most states, or check out their store locator to purchase at thousands of retail locations around the country. Born in the Midwest, raised in the South, charge ahead with Meat Eater and Black Buffalo.
Anyone with $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans may qualify for.
All right, y'all. I knocked the damn phone down. All right, Bala, what it is? Yeah, we just going over some
Pointed back to this interview saying Williams predicted that 2024 might be Combs' downfall. Now, to be clear, Combs is not being investigated for context of allegations. Combs forcibly touched, sexually assaulted people, or engaged in sex trafficking of minors. You look at that statement from Williams a little bit differently. And of course, this is merely a claim, an accusation.
Definitely been on my live, Brian.
Verifying what is going on here, but there are other videos going viral online
38 minutes.
that seem proof positive that Combs' parties were nothing short of infamous.
Oh, hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
That was Combs and NBA legend LeBron.
I know LeBron, man. That's how he said that on camera.
Others have recently come out to say that Combs' parties were not a place you wanted to be. That includes rapper Uncle Luke, who spoke with the podcast We in Miami just last week.
Did you party with Diddy a lot? Oh, no, not really. I would go to the party and leave early. Why wouldn't you stay?
You say you're going to leave early.
Leave early. I'm sorry. Yeah. I don't know what goes on after hours, but
he wasn't trying to find out.
I wasn't trying to find out.
One of the videos that has gone especially viral or circulated in the aftermath of the raids was Combs' interaction with a then 15-year-old Justin Bieber.
Yeah, this is wild right here, y'all.
As he was just rocketing to stardom.
It's crazy, yo. Back then, ain't nobody look at this crazy. I mean, I don't remember people probably did, but this was always crazy. Him and Justin Bieber.
Today on Bieber's YouTube channel titled 48 Hours with Diddy.
Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose.
You just say Sean Humphries.
It's definitely a 15-year-old's dream.
Given what we know about Combs' party lifestyle through these lawsuits and people have spoken out over the years, it is a little concerning that someone so young was hanging out with the rapper.
It was always concerning.
In a video posted on Combs' YouTube channel just a year or so later, Bieber
and everything starting to act different, huh?
God damn it. Hold up, y'all.
You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out. Well, I mean,
Hey, yo, let's